This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hi, I'm Elise Morales.
And I'm Millie Tamaris.
And this is
Go Touch Grass,
the podcast where we log in
so you can log off.
Millie and I are two chronically online comedians, and on this pod, we break down the week in internet discourse, viral memes, TikTok trends, and niche influencer drama so that you can go do literally anything else with your time.
And if you like what you hear today and want to hear more, we have a Go Touch Grass Patreon with tons of more weekly content, access to our Discord community, and our spin-off series, Search History, where we go back and break down a viral discourse from the past.
Our latest search history is on Numa guy.
And
the Numa video.
Listen, I thought when going in, I'm like, what is going on with this guy? It's just going to be a simple thing. No, it got so deep so fast. There's so many layers.
We talked about just the nature of the early internet. Its echoes into today.
Yeah.
We get philosophical.
We get philosophical on like what it was like to go viral when virality wasn't a thing in 2004.
And how did it affect the Numa guy?
Wow.
You can answer all of these questions on our Patreon, so go subscribe over there.
And don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review. We love reviews. We need more of them. But really the best review you can do is to tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody. Say, hey, there's this podcast called Go Touch Grass that we love.
And if you sign up for the Patreon, you can hear about Numa guy, and it's actually really interesting.
Tag us in a little story where we're posted. The whole conceit of this show is that we're always online.
We're always online,
so
and specifically of places where we're online. 2025 is the year of Go Touch Grass on YouTube. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube, what are you doing? We can't keep begging you. Every episode we're saying, please subscribe to the YouTube.
And people are subscribing.
And people are subscribing, but it's not all of you.
Yeah,
because I am comparing the numbers and it's not all of you. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube, go over there, subscribe. The YouTube videos come out every Saturday. You get to see cool visuals, extra stuff that got cut out of the episode, then makes it to the YouTube. It's a different experience. It's a visual experience. Go to the YouTube, sign up, get subscribed.
And we're putting our reels on there, and we do need our positive fans on there because the comments are
YouTube comments are a different space. YouTube comments are a different space, and that's what we'll say.
And speaking of different spaces, if you want to see us live, you got 2 chances to do that. We still have tickets left for our tea party, now happening on May 3rd at 11 a.m. at Prince Tea House in the East Village. I'm so excited. There's people flying in from out of town, taking trains, taking planes, taking automobiles. We got people coming in from California. We have somebody threatening to come from Canada, but she's scared about the thing. Please come. We'll see.
If we haven't gone to war with Canada yet, I think she's coming.
Yes. I'll be in Canada. Listen, I'm going to Canada in April for personal things.
It's a personal exchange.
Who knows if I'll stay? And then we have one more opportunity.
Yes, one final bit of housekeeping. If you just can't wait to see us live, you want to see us before the tea party, we're going to be at Y'all Fest April 4th at 9:30 p.m. for a live podcast recording. Tickets for that are available at yesandlaughterlab.com/festival. That's just going to be a classic live podcast episode. We did it last year. It was so much fun, and we'd love to see you again.
Yes.
Now, it's time to get into our episode.
Yes.
We have a very, very special guest in studio today. A star of the internet, of TikTok, of screens, small and large.
Yes.
Because I would imagine sometimes people are playing the videos on a large. They say, I want to see this bigger.
Yeah.
I want to see it
I'm going to get fucking IMAX.
I'm gonna
play this shit. I'm gonna rent a theater.
He's a comedian, content creator, and he's a viral hit maker who you may know as DJ Crazy Time, singer of the 2023 Song of the Summer, Planet of the Bass. It's Kyle Gordon.
Woo! Thank you.
Wow.
I'm curtsying.
Wow. And you guys will visually be able to see that on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes.
Subscribe to the YouTube.
Welcome to
Thank you. Yeah.
Do you have something to say before I get into this question?
Well, I was just kidding. I have been on the big screen. My girlfriend's dad really loves YouTube TV. So his preferred medium of, especially when Planet of the Bass was coming out, it'd be like, come in, let me show you.
Yes.
And that was, it's really exciting to watch an older gentleman show my stuff to his tennis friends.
Yeah, no, that's like a different level of vulnerability because there's there's the level of vulnerability where you're showing a YouTube video to someone and you want them to laugh, and then it's watching someone do that and it's actually your video and you're in
tough.
it. That's
And it's guaranteed that no one in the room is going to have any comprehension of what they're
Yeah.
watching.
Life, it never die. Women are my favorite guys. Sex, I'm wanting more. Tell the world, stop the war. Boom, hear the bass go zoom. Have a body, feel the groove. Cyber system overload. Everybody move, man.
Yeah.
It's a 100% guaranteed.
so this guy's who?
Yeah.
It's like, who's this guy?
Like,
Is he Russian? What's going on?
Right, exactly. It's like, it's a like, they don't understand my humor. They don't understand the reference that I'm making.
Yeah.
Like, that particular song is like a parody of 90s, like, Eurodance,
Yes.
which to them was like their children's music.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
like-
they don't understand the medium in which it's being presented to them.
It's
They're
a
like,
lot.
so this guy's marrying your daughter?
No, yeah, exactly.
And
It's-
he said girlfriend at least. He
Well,
said
I'm saying they're
girlfriend's
confused.
pairs.
yeah.
Now you're
Not if he makes his big
implicated.
announcement on
Yeah.
the pod today.
On the Go Touch Grass pod.
She's not here.
Yeah, she's
Actually,
not-
you want to know something crazy? I wasn't sure. So this is going to come out Wednesday.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I am going to get engaged tomorrow.
Oh!
yeah. So when this comes
My
out,
God.
it'll be public knowledge.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Okay, and that's the energy I was tapping into when I said that.
you really you
What if
clocked
she
that.
says no and we have to take it
We
off?
have to-
of-
No,
Yeah,
this is gonna be
please.
the best podcast. Are you
Oh
kidding me?
my God.
I'm gonna post like, hey guys, some serious news. Yeah.
Oh my God.
In all black square with just text of like, hey, something happened today. We're gonna be pausing.
Oh no, we're gonna link it. We
Yeah.
need the list.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
need
yeah.
the bump.
Sometimes I will pop in after editing to clarify something. So it'll be like, hey guys, Elise here. So kind of some strange news.
You have a different shirt on, direct to the
like,
camera. Yeah.
Hey, so we've heard from Kyle, and it did not go as planned.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You-
for your sake, I hope she says
You
no.
guys have probably
Well-
seen the viral Jumbotron video at this point, but she said no to Kyle.
Yeah. I'm gonna get engaged tomorrow at the Liberty game, and it's gonna be a
Oh
disaster.
my God. Not at the lesbians are throwing basketballs on you.
The lesbians throwing rotten tomatoes at me. They would. Oh my God, that would be the best game ever. Like
Yeah.
a failed straight engagement. Like that is just gold.
Well, all the tomatoes they're getting will be jarred tomatoes.
Yeah, really
Not rotten.
organic.
Glass.
Yeah,
It's just gonna be a
exactly.
lot of broken glass.
Mason jars. Well, this leads perfectly to our first question. Kyle, you're known for your pitch perfect song parodies. You've done country girl boss anthems, 90 British rap, emo, and millennial core hits, just to name a few. How do you decide what genre you want to parody next? And what is your process? And also, do you even have a musical background? Like, what is going on?
What is happening, Kyle?
Yeah.
How are you doing
What
it?
the fuck?
How do I pick? I mean, I try, best I can to. Well, so I'm about to come out with my new album, and so that's all new songs, and that was the first time I had written material just for the album, but all the stuff on the first album was shit that I'd just been performing live in Brooklyn, like me and a guitar.
Yeah.
So my background is pretty like, I write songs, but it's like, I know like 4 chords and could kind of, you can
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of,
yeah.
if you know
Yeah.
4 chords, you can kind of put a pop song together.
Yeah.
And so
I was actually just listening to a podcast about Charles Manson, and that was kind of his.
He-
that was his songwriting.
I mean,
technique
Is
as
he
well.
also getting engaged tomorrow? Or
Well, I think he's no longer with us.
Oh, he's dead.
Charles.
Unfortunately,
I
but
think
wow.
Charlie's gone.
so much big news dropping for Millie.
yeah,
Kyle's getting
exactly.
engaged.
Charles Manson's dead. No,
Charles Manson's
no.
dead.
But people, I'm glad you read. People don't give him enough credit for being so funny too. He was
Oh.
hilarious.
There's some funny evil people. We talk once a week about Trump being
Yeah,
funny.
one of
but-
them's president. Yeah, one
right,
that's president.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's a very not funny evil person who's also kind of president, but we'll talk
Yeah.
about him
Well,
later.
we'll talk about
Oh,
him later.
interesting. I'm curious. Okay.
It's Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
You're
I
like,
thought you were gonna be
who?
like Turkmenistan.
No, we're talking about Elon Musk.
No.
Enemy of the pod, Elon Musk.
yeah.
Back to your process.
Yeah.
So you have 4 chords. You used to play on guitar. So then what happened with this album? Yeah, you got like more like a studio. What's going on?
Yeah. So like, so so essentially the first album was like a bunch of songs that I'd just been playing around, me and a guitar, and then I had the idea of like, because they were all genre parodies, but like I just couldn't afford to make them sound good and have them be fully produced. And then I got a little bit of money to like actually make the album, and I was like, oh, I can turn this into like, have the pop punk song sound like a real pop punk song, have the country song sound like a real country song. And so, but all that material was stuff I'd been written and, you know, done over the years. And then this was the first one where it was kind of cool, where I hadn't been testing it live in front of comedy audiences. I kind of just put it out there, and it's been going well so far. So it was a good like ego boost and confidence builder of like, oh, I can just, you know, like it was, I could just write these songs and be confident in myself that they're good without having to like test it for 10 years.
No, that is such a different process to go from stuff where you're like, this is the culmination of like all the work I've been doing to this point.
Yeah.
Which I guess is often what a sophomore album is.
Well,
this
that's
is your
what I was very
sophomore
worried about
album.
it. As a
the
music
first
fan.
the debut album is the combination.
Yeah, it's
and
like
the sophomore album is like.
Well, now I guess I write a bunch of new songs, and I definitely don't have the same like amount of time and space to test them out in front of an audience the way you would.
Exactly.
Yeah, so off mic we were talking because Annie DeRusso, who is an indie artist, she's really great. She does like kind of like grunge, like indie pop. She was in here and she was talking about her tour with Caleb Heron. She was talking about the difference between touring music and touring comedy. She's not a comedian, she's just purely indie. But you said off mic, you were like, oh my God, music is so much easier than comedy. So I want to hear like what makes you say that and why.
Because she said that comedians have an easier time on tour than musicians, but you emphatically gave us the other opinion, so we have to give you the mic.
And I'm, in all fairness to her, I'm curious to hear her take. But
no, we're starting beef between you and Annie DeRusso
You're
today.
beefing with a Nashville-based indie artist.
Well, no, off mic, I was like, whoever that is, fuck them. I don't even, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, fuck her girl anthem.
Kyle actually had to like really cool down before we started recording.
I got here an hour ago, but they needed to give me like 30 minutes of space.
No, your publicist was pissed.
Exactly.
She's gonna kill me.
They took it out on you, They're
I
like,
know,
what did you say to him?
Yeah.
What did you say to him?
No, it's all my fault. Yeah,
You didn't read the document we sent about stuff not to say to him?
Yeah. Don't bring up any female artist. It was crazy. Do you want to answer the question or do you want to lean into the beat?
Oh, I mean, it's so many directions to go. But no, I mean, having done comedy much, much longer than like, because now I do tour with a band and it's more like, so like long story short, I used to think of my show as like a comedy show with music. And now I think of it as like a funny concert in that it's like standing room, music venues, band, whereas it used to be like comedy clubs, seated, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, music is way easier because if you're doing comedy, you know every second if what you're trying to accomplish is failing because they're not laughing. Like when I go to a show, like a musician will come like, oh, I didn't have a good set. Like I was like, according to who? Everyone was just sort of swaying back and forth quietly. Like, or like, they were jumping up and down. Like the metric of success is like, just kind of play it how you did it on the record. Like, like no one, unless you're like a diehard obsessive music fan, which there aren't that many who are like
can hear the nuances between a live performance.
Like you're kind of just like the bare minimum of success for a musician, I think, is much it's easier to do fine.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying so much because it is also like there's a collective experience too where like if you are a comedian and you're doing bad and no one's laughing, also it's not just that you can tell. Everyone can tell. Everyone is like, this is bombing. We can all tell. Whereas if it's like, DJ Crazy Times is out here, the music is bumping. If like you're not as aware or tuned into like the reaction of the whole. Probably.
DJs exist. They just press play. Like
and like people, even if they don't love every song, like it's the vibe, it's the environment. I will say I did a show on Friday and somebody was like, I was just talking with somebody, like another comic, and they're like, oh, I hate when comedians are like, say a joke and it bombs and it's like, oh, I guess you guys didn't like that one and people laugh. But I'm also like, I feel like audiences don't remember to laugh out loud.
Yeah.
That they're supposed to do that. Like that if they don't laugh, that it shows that they don't like, because sometimes people are like, huh, that was funny. And it's like, no, we're gonna actually need to hear you react like
Yeah.
verbally, whatever. And I also feel like sometimes like shows will remind people like, hey, if you like something, audibly laugh so
Yeah.
that the people on stage don't feel fucking crazy. So,
Yeah, I host an open mic that's like for characters or whatever, and when I'm doing like my little spiel at the beginning of the mic, I literally am like, we're all gonna practice laughing
Yeah.
really loud
Yeah.
because we're all very, thinking about our set for sure, but like you have to laugh for other people or this is gonna be so awkward and suck so
Yeah.
much. I promise you it's way worse if none of you fucking laugh.
Yeah.
So
And I think it's gotten worse since like COVID.
I think
Yeah.
honestly.
so too.
Like
People
yeah.
don't know how to act in shows and shit.
And they
so.
just consume like they are like they're your favorite video, the funniest video.
yeah.
The first time you saw it, you were like,
yeah, you were
like,
just
that
like,
was the
Yeah.
it
like,
was a completely internal feeling of
Yeah.
like, very good.
yeah.
I
That
like
was awesome.
I like it.
And yeah, and we talk about this, and I know we have more questions, but it's like also like the frequency in which people consume funny content. I don't think the mass doesn't understand how long it takes to actually be good at something, how long it takes to work on something, like the output, the vulnerability involved with making a joke that you're just seeing the end product.
Yeah.
So it's just a really interesting time for live performance.
Yeah.
Okay, that segues perfectly into our last question for you about you. We will ask you other questions throughout the rest of the
My favorite
recording,
topic,
but this
so
is the last time
please.
we're going to ask you about you.
But
With Planet of the Bass, which went so crazy viral. Oftentimes when we have someone on the pod who's like gone very viral in that way, when you put it out, like, did you know? Were you like, this is gonna go far? Because it's not like it was your first video. You'd been making content for a long time. You'd had stuff
Yeah.
go viral before, but like, what? Did you have a feeling that you were gonna end up with the Jonas Brothers?
no, definitely.
And
So yes,
also
yeah.
that video is so funny of you performing with the vocals.
Yeah. You want to talk about a bunch like it's 20,000 Jonas Brothers fans who are like, why is this short Estonian man yelling at me? Like, yeah, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah.
Did
yeah.
they say like this is a comedy parody? This
No,
is
no, they were just like, welcome to the stage. Also, like, people forget the song wasn't even out. Like, that song came out that day. So, like,
Oh
the
my
video,
God.
like, the clip was out, but the whole song hadn't even come out yet. So, like, yeah, it was, no, they just were like, so, because the Jonas Brothers, so I can start with that,
Yes.
Yeah.
sort of how, and then I'll go back to how it all started. But, like, yeah, with the Jonas Brothers thing, we like had to push up the release date because everyone was like so hyped about the video coming out. So I literally shot the music video and then it was going to come out 2 days later. But when I'm flying back, literally Nick Jonas was like, oh, do you want to come tonight?
Did he slide into the DMs?
He slid into the DMs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you're living every millennial girl's fantasy
Yeah.
of having Nick Jonas DM you to fly you out,
And I was like,
and you put out too.
what?
Yeah.
Yo, 100%.
He's getting engaged
Yeah. Well, that'll be the caveat. I was like, Nick does have dibs. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, and
Come-
most women will respect it.
Yeah.
yeah.
100%.
Your girlfriend gets it.
Yeah. But yeah, like, anyways, long story short, I was supposed to do.
So
they
you got
were,
flued out by Nick Jonas. Yeah.
well, no, like because I was coming back from the shooting the video and I wasn't able to the first night which was supposed to be at Yankee Stadium.
Oh shit!
And they replaced me with Jimmy Fallon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take that, Jimmy.
Yeah, and
Take
he
that,
did.
bitch.
He just did a karaoke version of Mr. Brightside.
Wow.
Oh.
Imagine if you did a karaoke version of Planet of the
Planet of the
Bass.
Bass,
And you're like, my song hasn't been released.
Yeah.
They never had me. They were like, yeah, we'll just get Jimmy.
We
Fallon
just
to do
actually
it.
got Jimmy Fallon to do it.
Yeah.
So did you know it was gonna go viral?
Well, not like that. Not like
No.
that. Yeah, like I mean, so it was the first. It was like because it was literally the first clip of the promo essentially
Mhm.
for the song release,
Yeah.
and I had never really like released music like that. So I had done that character DJ Crazy Times actually like before and done some videos that were like popular, but not even close to my most popular video. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is I liked the song. I thought it was all good, but I didn't think it would be like that.
It was what we needed at that.
Yeah.
It really hit it hit people's hearts. And
Yeah,
it
no,
was
it was
That's cool.
so viral. People loved it, and like I'm sure you got crazy. I'm sure Nick Jonas wasn't the only crazy DM you got.
Yeah, crazy. It was such a crazy time too, because I don't know how much you followed the whole arc of it, but like what I did, the original promo concept was I filmed the video with 3 different actresses like lip syncing.
Yeah.
it.
Yes,
Oh, I remember.
I
And then the
there's
second
drama.
one, there was drama. And so
Tell us about say it.
so the whole drama with that was like in sort of keeping with the parody of like the 90s Eurodance, like it was a thing that they would do of like, especially these European groups, they just pump out all these songs
Mhm.
and then they would have like literally models just lip sync in the
Yeah.
video.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
pump up the jam, like that's a
Yeah, yeah,
model in the
yeah.
video, and or
Yeah.
whatever. So I was like, oh, that'll be funny. I'll do that, and that'll be a good way to promo it. And then the first one blew up so much
Yeah.
that people were like, also, she's not singing it. Like she's
Yeah.
lip syncing it too.
I know, and the other girl who sung it was like, "That's not me."
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
that too.
Right. So they
And her name is Miss Biljana Electronica,
Correct.
I just want to make sure that we're referring to
Yeah,
her
yeah,
by
yeah.
name.
Right, yes.
Miss Biljana.
yeah. And then the second actress got a lot of backlash because they
Oh
were
my
like, "We
God.
missed the first one," but I brought her back for the music video. But like the navigating that, because also I don't know if I've said this, like in the official music video, I shot it in Ohio,
Mhm.
and we literally just got a local Ohio actress to be in the official music video. And then we had to be like, no, we have to get the
Yeah,
first one
yeah.
back, or I will be like drawn in
Yeah,
quarters.
Yeah, people
yeah.
are actually incribly attached to the
Yeah.
original
Yeah, yeah,
woman in
yeah.
a way that I did not anticipate.
Wow.
So like I had filmed all the clips like before the first video even came out, but to tell you how like I did not expect it to go as big as it did, like that was a testament of like I sort of was tweaking everything as we were, as it was coming out.
Well, yeah, I remember at the time seeing people debating and saying what you were saying, be like, it's actually part of the parody for
Yeah.
him to switch the women out, because actually in this genre, the woman would change every time. And then other people are like, I actually think that it's anti-woman for him
Yeah,
to
it's
switch. And
misogynistic,
he's
yeah.
switching out women. He thinks that the Biljanas are interchangeable, but they're not interchangeable. And every woman is a special snowflake. And it was like, I was
Yeah.
like, wow, you could never have anticipated that.
No, I could not have anticipated that. Well, because also it's very much, you want to talk about internet of it all. Like I had like, 1,000 followers on Twitter,
Mhm.
and this thing blew up so big
On
on
Twitter,
Twitter,
yeah.
which I just put it on there like, fuck it.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be on TikTok, like where it would take off. And so the idea of doing multiple videos to promote a song on TikTok is very normal.
Yeah.
But like on Twitter, they were like, this video is sacrosanct.
Yeah.
And so, like, because on TikTok, you use the same sound over and over. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just needed a
that's-
bunch of stuff like with the sound. But on Twitter, that's why I think it like, because I think like it wouldn't have, if it had just been a TikTok thing, I don't think people don't pay that close attention.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Twitter is Twitter.
Twitter is Twitter.
And
Yeah.
like so many of our guests have like had instances where something that was intended for TikTok made it to Twitter and ruined their lives.
yeah. Right, exactly.
Yeah, so-
It's very dangerous to
It's
get
dangerous.
cross-posted to Twitter. Speaking of Twitter,
Yes.
we're going to get into our episode now, but first we're going to start with a game. This is like a classic game of Go Touch Grass that we don't always get to play. This game is called What Are They Talking About?
Yes.
And it is a game where Millie has pulled a tweet.
Yes.
It's a reply of some kind.
Yes.
And we're going to have to try to figure out what they could possibly be talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
So no context. I will say usually our What Are They Talking About are outsized responses to something that doesn't make sense. But I will say this is an appropriate response.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
So this is called the tweet is from @YuckyTom, and the shout out to old Tom @YuckyTom, and it says big quote, "We don't call women losers enough" moment. So this is very recent. So I want you guys think about the times that we are having in this country, and think about what would prompt someone to reply that we are not calling, to bring attention to the fact that we don't call women losers enough.
Enough.
Think about something that maybe
Okay.
a woman could be doing
That's loserish.
that's loserish, and made her kind of the main character of Twitter for a day.
Ooh.
I'm wondering if it's that press secretary, the girl who wears the big cross.
Oh,
Carolyn Levitt.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good guess.
That would be a slam
Miss
dunk.
Ma-
Okay,
Ma'am.
Kyle, what's your guess?
My instinct not to get internet-y of it is the woman who hit the other woman with the baton. Yeah.
Wow.
That's literally a loser.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
she's
in
been-
every sense, she lost all across the board.
Yeah.
That's losing in the purest sense.
In the track and field thing, these girls were running. This other girl clearly hits her in the back of the head, but then is crying to the thing like, "Oh, guys, I was tripping and it was an accident."
Yeah. Guys, we have to put a pin in track and field baton discourse, but the
crazy.
video is crazy.
Yeah.
The video is crazy.
It's kind of undeniable that she hit that
hits
It's
lady.
like
that
with the
cartoonish.
baton.
It's like Looney Tunes, like clunk.
Yeah, truly, you do kind of expect it, to be like,
Yeah,
a
like a big lump to grow out of the top of her head.
Yeah. Well, so your guess was the press secretary. Your guess was the track and field. Both of you are wrong.
Okay.
Both of you are wrong. The actual tweet, if we can, is from @SpaceX Jackie, who says, "Brought fresh donuts to Tesla employees across Austin today to show support and thank them for their dedication and hard work." And she this is a woman who brought donuts for the Tesla employees, and she tagged Tesla, Silicon Valley, and also @Austin Tesla owners Austin Club official account. So it's an account for people who own Teslas in Austin. So this is what prompted, of course, the tweet got 9.8 million views and she got roasted.
Well, this is actually props to her because she's invented a brand new way to cross the picket line. Like this is like that's incredible. Like it's like there's no strike going on, but it's like you had to walk because people are picketing right now, right?
Yes.
So she had to walk through with a box of
Donuts.
donuts
And say thank you for your support.
Your service.
And your service.
What I mean,
and the service is owning a Tesla.
It's working at the Tesla place.
I know. I'm like, is this also in response to like that people have been like vandalizing Cybertrucks?
People
or
are
whatever?
vandalizing Teslas. People are pissed because Elon Musk and his band of bandits, which we will get back to today.
We'll be talking Doge a little bit.
Doge a little bit. They are laying people off, and a great way to show, kind of protest that is by, picketing Tesla dealerships. And Miss Jackie, SpaceX Jackie, is saying, "Here's some donuts." So the internet said, "You know what? We don't call women losers enough."
Yeah,
but
Jackie.
you guys made some really
fuck
good
yeah, we don't do that.
Well, you called
Hell yeah, brother.
You called Danny DeRusso a loser. You don't even
called it. We had to take out all that stuff. You said about her.
Yeah, exactly.
That was really
I started
tough.
this beef. I started this show with beef against women.
Okay, wow.
But that was a good guess, and that was our game.
That was a great game.
Yeah.
And speaking of things that you started.
Yes.
For today's discourse. So the discourse is our segment where we talk about something that everybody's chatting about online, something that's trending, a big viral topic. And for the first time in Go Touch Grass history, Kyle, you're here to make history. What's that? The Debbie, that fucking Disney girl who, have you seen that meme? Oh my God.
Describe the meme, Alicia.
It's that girl, Debbie something from Debbie Ryan. And she says, I walked into the CEO of Disney's office and I said, let's make history. And I did. That's what I'm thinking. That's you
beautiful.
walking into Go Touch Grass. It took us a second to get there,
That's
but
how I
that's
feel.
you.
To you, and you know what? Women with ADHD.
Yeah, we're back.
We're back.
Yeah,
but
we're back.
It took some time to
No,
get
I
there,
got
but
it.
it's
Not
a
all
very
women
funny
are
meme.
losers, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a very funny meme.
Kyle!
Not all women are losers.
Women are losers. We're not losers, right?
Okay. So, what I'm trying to articulate now is that today, for the very first time in Go Touch Grass history, we are talking about a discourse that our guest was integral in creating.
Yes.
We are talking about the Millennial Burger Joint trend.
Yes.
Wow.
I was going to be like the BBL just. Oh,
We're,
yeah, that one.
we are talking about.
That was I was more tangential in that.
Yeah. Everyone was talking about Kyle's BBL. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
but Kyle,
that was crazy to the 2023 era, Kyle.
Yeah.
Was that
Yeah, I know.
BBL?
Yeah, people.
but the publicist made us cut it out.
Yeah, that was what was so great about Planet of the Base. People kind of forgot about my whole BBL thing.
Yeah. Well, the base, the ass, and whatever.
Yeah,
They didn't get people don't get the subliminal message.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Millennial Burger.
The Millennial Burger. I've heard it called the Millennial Burger Joint Trend, Millennial Burger Place, Millennial Burger Restaurant. Anyway, before we get into it, I know that we're millennials. I did Google your age, but how do you identify as a millennial as well? Or
Are you gonna come out on the closet?
Yeah. Well, I identify as 14, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm very solidly millennial.
Okay,
I'm
great,
32 years old.
Yeah. So, okay, we are all coming at this from a place of being millennials.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who have eaten
Big time.
at these burger joints.
Yeah.
So, okay. Kyle, I know you've seen these videos because you're a big part of them, but Millie, have you seen these videos?
Is it like just because I'm like people are just using one of Kyle's song parodies as a sound
Yes.
over videos of restaurants? I'm like,
It's
yeah.
videos of it's so okay. You have released a song it's You're Not We Are Young.
Yeah,
Because
We Will
that is a
Never
parody of We Are Young by
So,
Fun.
and also the first line in the sound is me saying we
We
are
are
young,
young,
but
yes.
then the chorus is we will never die.
We are young. There's a fire in our soul. We go big or go home together. We are young. That's right. We're black and we're white, but we all will be tonight forever. 'Cause we will never die. No one I know will ever die. Your mom and dad will never die.
Exactly. So it's a parody of like the boom clap millennial anthems where
Yes.
people are how would you describe
Yeah,
that
tell us,
genre
yeah.
of
Well,
music?
before it became associated, which is so the millennial burger trend,
Yes.
which definitely took off on its own.
Yeah.
I always called it like millennial Coles music. So if
Yes.
you were like
Yeah.
shopping or like in a Carnival
Dillard's.
Cruise ad from like
Yes.
2011, so it's very like relentlessly optimistic and sort of that's why I call it like We Will Never Die. It's like, and it always had the very chanty chorus like oh you know
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
there's room for the CVS core, like
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah, there is like always just like a stomping and a clapping
Yeah.
that's happening.
It's very, not to fuck up the audio, but this
Yeah.
is going throughout. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the videos that you've made for it, you're in like such perfect millennial core attire, which is like the wide
The
brim
wide
fucking
brim
hat
hat,
and like the little
14
boots.
different necklaces.
Yeah, like youth pastor.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's a really good, like, because it's so funny that, like, as soon as that sort of style of music left like the mainstream popularity, it was immediately co-opted by like Christian megachurch people, you know,
like cool youth pastor for
exactly.
like church. I
That
mean,
are
like
sleeping
Hillsong.
with everybody.
Yeah, it's like Hillsong
Skinny
Church.
jeans.
Just like Hillsong
big
Church,
time
yeah.
Hillsong.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, millennial burger joint trend is like it's a TikTok trend that was very specifically tied to the release of your song because 99.9% of them use the sound from your song. And we'll talk about it's basically people parodying these kind of classically millennial restaurants where it's like super industrial decor, using words like kick ass a lot in the menu. It's always like founded by two guys with a crazy dream to change the way burgers are done in this country. Really uncomfortable chairs.
Yeah.
Burgers are all $17.
Yeah.
Calling appetizers shareables. That type of stuff. So it's like
fries in the metal basket.
Yes.
a lot of truffle oils
Truffle,
being
truffle.
used. Truffle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I immediately recognize like what one of these restaurants is when I hear about the trend.
Yeah. I guess I'm just like, but that's just a restaurant.
Well,
So,
that's
like,
yeah. I want to go on the record and say I like
Yes.
I am very guilty of like a bougie little burger place, like 100%. Yeah, and I also feel bad for restaurants because in general, let alone any brick and mortar store, because it's like you can't really keep up with the trends. Like
No,
it's
you
going to
can't.
cost you $1 gajillion to
Yeah.
redo the decor. So
Yeah.
once you build it, you're locked
That's
into
it.
2011 for a long
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it totally is. Again, I'll fuck up a basket of truffle fries. Let me tell
I'm
you,
like,
I'm
I
not-
love truffle.
I don't think it's about not loving it, but it is a very specific aesthetic of restaurant that came out between like 2010 and
Yeah.
2014. There were a lot of these that opened, and then it's like you can't completely revamp your restaurant because TikTok has decided it's like not cool.
Cool. I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, so where are these people eating? And it's so interesting because I guess before this trend, I could easily articulate like what we were describing of like Imagine Dragons boom clap Christian pastor aesthetic music kind of shit. But I would have never thought to associate that with a restaurant and eating establishment. And like as we're talking about food trends, what's happening right now in cuisine in America, especially the nicer places in New York, is like elevated like mozzarella sticks or like really like what is it, Cornerstone? The Cornerstone is like the nicest restaurant, impossible to get reservations. Like one of their most like popular things is a pizza rolls like that are like fucking $25 or something because they're made with blah blah blah. So it's like elevated like kind of junk food things.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting that has come around to like millennial like burger place core. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch two quick examples of a millennial burger joint restaurant. Both of them feature your song, so
right,
So
let's
you
do it.
can't sue us.
yeah, this is consent
sue
for us
us
to play
anyway.
No,
your
I'm not going
song.
to sue us. You just owe me for the publishing.
Oh, gee.
Maestro Burger. My name's Zach. What can I get you guys started with today? Oh, burger section. Burger section. Yeah. So there's no burger section on the menu. You actually got to look under handhelds. So yeah, right there, handhelds. Can I turn this off? No, this is Cody Red Wing and the Broken Hearts, man. This is music. Yeah. So the origin of this place. If you look on the wall over there, that black and white photo, that's Fred and Bob Dunster. They're just two guys with a dream that came in here and made that dream a reality to make the best burger in the world. Alrighty, there's your food. You didn't order any fries. No, the burgers are just by themselves. The fries are a separate part of the menu for $8 more. I can go put an order though if you want.
Okay, we can cut it here. There's just one more that we're gonna watch like 30 seconds of, just to get the vibe. I thought this one was really.
After running 2 failed bicycle startups, my brother Bryce and I decided that inheriting this storefront from our predatory landlord grandfather would be the perfect opportunity to achieve our dream of being restaurateurs. But it wasn't all an easy road for us Columbia grads. There were a lot of haters and doubters along the way saying things like, "You gentlemen have never cooked for yourselves or anyone else in your life. What makes you think you're qualified to run a restaurant? Or you're both functioning alcoholics. Is it really a good idea for you to be running a bar?" And to that we said, "You don't understand the vision. The burgers are $32, but the memories are priceless."
All right, we can cut it there. I will shout out both creators. The first video was by @BacoGlend123, and the second was by @PossumGirl. Shout out
Okay.
@PossumGirl. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we know what these restaurants are. They're and I feel like the main points of clowning on them are like that vibe of like, we do things a little differently
Yes.
around here, which I do think is a millennial restaurant trend. And I think also the verbiage of the millennial restaurant, which is like trying to have this cool edge to it that's trying so hard it almost makes it like just write burgers, don't write handhelds on the fucking
Who are
menu.
you fooling? Especially after all this time. Yeah, that's one of the things I find funniest about anything. But this, they did like clock onto something that is so funny. It's like the idea that, especially when it's like two bros opening a restaurant, they're
Yeah.
like, there is this like subtext of like, holy shit, I just thought of something that
Yeah.
1,000 other people have thought of.
Yeah.
yeah. Like you're not, wait, pause. You know, like we're gonna have, and I like the first one because one of the most egregious things about that type of restaurant, charging extra for fries
Right.
is
Yeah.
a crime.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
And
a
not
crime.
including it with the burger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a crime.
Fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah, like I get if there's upgrades to the fries,
Yeah.
whatever. But if I'm ordering a burger, I am expecting to receive fries.
You know what I fucking hate is when you go somewhere and there's an expensive ass burger or sandwich and they give you fucking potato chips with the fucking
Oh
sandwich.
yeah.
Like fuck you.
And the
There's a
potatoes-
I
formula.
want fries, bitch.
And the potato chips are soggy because some of the burger juice has gotten on some of the potato chips.
Yeah.
Don't fucking fuck with me.
So, Millie, you asked earlier, like, where are these people eating, if not the Millennial Burger Restaurant? But if we go to this next slide, they are eating at the Millennial Burger Restaurant because a lot of these videos are actually just taking the sound of your song and taking pictures of, it's like people using your song and then taking videos of themselves at the Millennial Burger Restaurant itself and being like, so if we go to one more slide over. So this is all the same video of just a guy who went to this burger place and like took pictures of it. Again, fries and drink are separate. And this has
Where was
eight,
a combo drink? Okay, fries and drink, and it's only $5 more. Okay, fine.
but this has 8 million views.
That's crazy.
And it's just your sound plus this, which is wild. So people are, I mean,
Yeah. it's-
people are there's like a skit version of the trend. And then there's also just literally people who are at one of these restaurants taking videos of it and showing how it fits in with like the trend itself.
Yeah, I struggle with this because I feel so like defensive about millennial stuff because sometimes I feel like it's just like arbitrary different. Like we talk about this all the time. I never, when I was coming up, thought about how Gen Z dresses, how it's different, or not Gen Z, sorry, how Gen X dresses, how it's different, how they're like little slang words like are differentiating and how we're cool and how whatever. Like, I feel like the nuances of trends just happen and evolve naturally. And like, you might get clowned for wearing something like outdated, but it wasn't so much ascribed to this generation versus this generation as a way where like Gen Z like has this obsession with calling things out that are millennial and this is millennial and like derogatory in a way that bothers me where I'm like hold the fuck on. I'm only like 5 years older than you and also like I am objectively cooler than you in every way. Why do you keep bringing up like, oh, the millennial? I don't know. And then I'm like, it's concerning because there is all this thing about like millennial burger joint. And I see that and I get it. But I'm also like, so what's Gen Z burger joint? Like, what's the Gen Z restaurant? What's the boomer? Like, are these really definable things? Can you just, I don't know.
But they'll have their time.
They'll
They'll
have
have
They'll
their
have
time.
their time.
They don't have
They'll have their time.
No,
They're
it's
just
true.
it's 2025. Just
Just
we'll
grit our
sit and
teeth.
wait.
Grit
We'll
our
sit and wait.
teeth.
Look, I'm contributing to it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
But you were making fun of us a clear aesthetic that we have. Like
Yeah.
now, people are wearing the big pants.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it's not.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it's not the big hat. It's the big pants. The pants are big. The hats are small.
Yeah,
The glasses
yeah.
are small. The
But it
whatever.
always goes in. But that's the thing I say too. It's like right now in 2025, like everything from 10 to 15 years ago seems dorky, just in the way that trends go. Like disco music, there was nothing less cool in 1987 because that was like 10 years, and then just give it 10 more years. Disco is who doesn't fucking love disco? We all love disco. Like, that's
so true. Where it's like 10 years ago is uncool, outdated, blah. 20 years ago is like back in style, really cool.
Millennial burger joints will have a revitalization in 10 years.
Oh, and I see TikToks all the time that are like videos of people in high school in 2005, which literally was when I was in high school, and they'll be like, oh man, to be in high school in 2005. So it's like, 20 years is cool, 10 years is considered not cool, and I think that's just normal. I will say, as far as like the Gen Z versus millennial wars online go, Millennial Burger Restaurant, I'm like, they're onto something. This is a very fun, like this is a real aesthetic that did come about from us becoming restaurateurs. And it is a very funny and specific thing of that, that attitude of like, I'm sorry, did you mean to order the kick-ass burger with extra sauce? I'm like, okay, like, let's relax. I don't think that Gen Z has the startup capital have their own restaurants yet.
Well, also, I'm like, the second comedian or the second artist or whatever made a thing of like, oh yeah, we're 2 Columbia grads. Babe, they're revoking degrees. It's a fucking flex to actually have graduated from Columbia. They're snatching those things back. Gen Z will have no Columbia graduates at this rate.
They'll be very nostalgic for it because it won't exist anymore.
Exactly, bitch. So put some respect on millennials. That's all I'm saying.
The millennial degree trend, which is
I'm just saying, like, we're the only people who know how to rotate a PDF at all.
A master's is going to be so vintage.
Well, the millennial being able to read trend. Sorry.
I'm just saying the pants are big, but the opinions very small.
But one thing I will say though, like, because I feel like I laughed at this because number one, I think maybe because it like comes from your song. To me, it feels more like intermillennial jesting. Like obviously Gen Z is making fun of the Millennial Burger Restaurant as well. It's a TikTok trend. But I feel like I've seen a lot of people who I'm like, well, that's also just another millennial who's like, no, you clocked us good on that one. The Gen Z versus millennial TikTok thing that I can't fucking stand is when someone's like meeting a millennial and then they talk in like BuzzFeed internet speak.
Yes.
And I'm like, we never talked like that. That was only for typing. It was only for typing.
It's SEO, bitch. You don't even know what SEO is. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's like when people complain about like when you look up a recipe online and it has like, like all the bullshit before, like, they're not just doing that for no reason. It's for like all the SEO bullshit,
Yeah.
You cannot post a restaurant. It will not show up on Google if you don't have that shit.
Yes,
You
exactly.
have to have it.
Yes. They know you're going to scroll through it. They just need it for SEO.
Now they'll even have the little thing that you just hit jump to recipe.
Exactly, bitch. So stop complaining. Okay?
Let these little people who are sharing their stuff, having their little website of recipes, get their traffic. Okay? But I feel Millennial Burger Restaurant, I genuinely am like, okay, this one's funny. This one can stay. Millennial, the one where it's like, my puppers and my doggos. I'm like, no one ever said that.
Yeah.
I'm like, sometimes it feels like it's an impression of a YouTuber specifically too.
That's what it is.
The cadence is like, I'm like, oh, you associate millennials with just being YouTubers because you were watching us on YouTube. And that's a very specific way of speaking. We weren't doing that with each other out and about in the world.
I'm just saying too, this is my message to people of all generations. Being young is not a flex. I'm just saying. I went to the suburbs a few weeks ago. Somebody came up to me and was like, they had an inside joke that they were the youngest person in their group, and they're Gen Z, and they're like, well, you guys are so old. You guys are so old. You guys are so old. And I'm just like, bitch, you live in the suburbs and you're fucking corny. And I don't know you. Like, it's not a flex. You will be old one day, hopefully. If everything goes well. If you are blessed in life, you will be in this position one day.
Yeah.
So shut your ass up. But should the millennial be, of course it's roasted, but I'm just like, Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just the inevitable, like, but when you were young, didn't you feel like you were like, God, I'm gonna be young forever, and
Mhm.
all those
Of
old
course.
people, it's just it's the cycle
cycle of life,
I
yeah.
know. It's so funny also to look back on the aesthetic of this time period, like 2010, which I feel like, yeah, probably all of these restaurants were founded in like 2011. And then
Mhm.
like the aesthetic in your music video. And remembering being in that time and not even realizing that there was truly such a look to
Yeah.
what we're doing. Like,
Yes.
you need 10 years to look back and be like,
Right.
oh my God, why were we all wearing like industrial like hats?
Yeah,
And like,
yeah,
what
that
was this weird,
big
like
hat.
ripped, torn
Yeah.
safety pin? The indie sleaze of it all is
But
very
people like
interesting.
indie sleaze.
Yeah,
Indie
yeah.
sleaze is coming back now.
But that's the thing, is that, you don't know in the moment which of the, I mean, you can sort of have a hunch, but like, you don't know which of the subcultures that are percolating are going to be the ones that people resonate with 10 years
Yeah.
or 20 years, or the ones that are going to be dorky, like,
Yeah, what becomes the thing that's like definitive of that time in like side eye way, and what is like, oh no, that's actually cool. Let's bring that back. Let's bring twee back.
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing is, there'll always be people like who bring back different subgenres
Yeah.
at all times. So
Yeah, fashion is cyclical. But all right. So any final thoughts on the millennial burger trend before we go on to TikTok, our next segment?
Well, if it goes out of style, I'm excited to see it have a resurgence in 10 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Again, in 10 years, we'll make fun of the millennial burger restaurant again.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like, Kyle, you gotta make a chain of millennial burger
I know,
restaurants.
I
yeah.
know.
that
God, I gotta
play your
cash
theme
in
so-
quick.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
That play your songs.
Wow.
On repeat only.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should
That sounds
do
like a hell.
Yeah, I know.
almost like a millennial Dave and Buster's type situation where you can go to a restaurant and pretend it's 2011 again.
It will be a thing, I promise you. Do it now. Start planning now, where people can get little tattoos on their index finger.
Yes,
with
Of a
the-
mustache, yeah.
yeah.
It will pop off.
Yeah, that would actually business opportunity for you
There
when
you
the
go.
tour is done. When the tour is done.
You guys get a finder's fee.
Thank
Please,
you. We
you.
will be coming for you for
Yeah.
that. Millie, are you ready for our next segment?
Yes. So our next segment is TikTok, and it is the segment of our show where the internet meets politics.
Mhm.
You know,
As it so often does.
As it so often does, everything is political. So a few weeks ago, we talked about a group of dorks that run Dodge and they're Doge, and they're like we focused on 7 of these guys who are between the ages of 19 to 25, and they're nerds who have been responsible for laying off thousands of seasoned government employees. We went through their social media things, found out one of them used AI to undecode a scroll from Mount
Vesuvius or
Mount
something.
Vesuvius.
He actually did one cool thing, and I'm like, you should have actually just kept doing that.
doing
Like,
the papyrus
yeah,
thing.
I'm like, you should actually just keep like decoding papyruses and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
but
cool.
everyone else did a bunch of racist shit. So that was but we have a new Doge dork that just dropped. And this time, ladies, she's one of us.
Woo! Women in STEM.
Women in STEM.
Women
Her
in
name.
STEM. Women can be losers too.
Women can be losers too. Her name is McLaureen Pinover.
McLaureen?
Wow.
And remember what I said? I said white people, they're the ones with the crazy names now.
Mhm.
They took that and
Oh.
ran with that.
It's canon.
It's
McLaureen?
McLaureen Pinover. And oh
That
boy,
rules. Yeah.
That truly sounds like one of the names you come up with for like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
fake
yeah,
artist.
yeah,
like
yeah,
for
yeah.
like the Girl Boss country song, it's like McLaureen.
I could never. I mean, it's flawless.
it's flawless. And oh boy, is her social media something. This CNN article, which busted out this, broke this news, roasted her ass. So I'll just read this excerpt. As the Office of Personnel Management oversaw the layoffs of thousands of federal workers and pressed others to justify their positions, the agency's chief spokesperson repeatedly used her office for a side hustle. Aspiring Instagram fashion influencer. Yes, guys. As some of our hardworking federal employees that make sure people have Social Security, make sure that food's being inspected, all of those really important government jobs, as they're being laid off,
Air traffic controllers.
air traffic controllers, people in the as they're being laid off, the person doing the laying off is posting fit pics on her Instagram. In at least a dozen videos filmed in the Office of Personnel Management Office.
Okay.
Political appointee McLaurin Pinover modeled her, I have to say the name, modeled her outfit choices for the day while directing followers from her Instagram account to a website that could earn her commissions on clothing sales. On the same day, so what they did was they tracked and found the post because she only had 800 followers, right? But they tracked and found that like the same day, the OPM office sent a government-wide memo pressing federal officials to identify barriers they face to work and quote, to swiftly terminate poor performing employees. McLaurin Pinover posted a video blowing a kiss to the camera with the caption, "Work look." And the hashtag, this is the worst, hashtag DC influencer.
No, I can't imagine a darker place than the hashtag DC influencer.
Oh my
Like,
God.
but sorry, I was just gonna ask. I'm sure that we're gonna see her looks, but is
We're
she
gonna see.
is she giving office siren?
No,
or?
bitch. She's giving office handmade. It's corny as fuck. Honestly, it's kind of offensive. Her Instagram account linked to a site where viewers could buy the $475 skirt she wore in the video. So she's overseeing people firing. The day that they're like, you guys need to justify your job or you're going to fucking lose it, she's blowing a kiss and selling her $475 skirt. Some people said her videos could violate the rules that prohibit use of government property for personal benefit, as she was using a website that pays content creators.
Unfortunately, I just don't actually think there are rules anymore. I'm sure it does violate the rules.
I'm like, there aren't rules for Trump, but there are rules for McLaurin Pinover. McLaurin Pinover.
She hasn't gotten far enough up the ladder to where there are no rules for her.
I mean,
it's fun
honestly,
up there. Yeah.
you have to be really high because there's rules for Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz ain't make it.
There were like 2 rules.
There are 2 rules. And Matt Gaetz ain't make it. The rules are you can't get your homeboy to get hookers on back pay. What was it?
Venmo.
No.
Venmo.
What was seeking arrangement? And Venmo.
But they Venmo'd them.
And he was buying Molly on Venmo. And paying for underage
activity.
Sex work, activity. But anyway, so you can't do that and you can't use your government job. And she was a Trump appointee, a Trump administration person. She did not answer to the list of questions asked, but she did delete her Instagram account within minutes of getting emailed from CNN.
That's efficient.
On Instagram, where she had about 800 followers. Again, CNN is so shady. They're like, she was doing this for 800 followers.
I know, it's like, I don't want to be one of those people where it's like followers matter, but it is very funny to be doing this for sub 1,000.
And okay, followers, whatever, but she did call herself an influencer.
Yes.
You know, like.
Well, this is like, again, another shady thing. On Instagram, where she had about 800 followers, Pinover's posts were adorned with hashtags like hashtag DC style and DC influencer and soundtrack with hits like Sabrina Carpenter's Busy Woman. She had posted as recently as last Tuesday when she uploaded a video showing herself typing on her office computer. Her account did not. So her account didn't say she was a federal employee. But again, several of the Instagram videos were from her office and they were posted during business hours, according to a review of code embedded in the social media website.
I do love a video of someone typing that's supposed to like make you believe that they work really hard at their job, and it's literally just them like, I'm at my computer. And it's probably just that fucking thing from Life Size with Tyra Banks where she's on the computer just typing just random letters.
Yes. Or the, what's the Nelly video where Kelly Rowland is typing on Excel?
She didn't even know what Microsoft Excel was.
Yeah, she texts him into Excel. It's literally that. It's just like gobbledygook.
So again, the day that, OPM fired 20 people, you know, she posted the video of her twirling. So this, I don't know. So she, right, February 13th, they fired 20 people, and then they found a video of her that she was like twirling around and smiling.
Typing in the computer.
And they asked someone how they felt about it. And they said, you know, the communications team worked their butt offs to support other agencies and the workforce. To post that video the very day your entire team is getting laid off is ridiculous. While her team is getting axed, she's twirling around in her office. I thought that was funny.
Physically.
And yes, so this is like, I'll just read these last two little bits, and then we'll look at two of the outfits.
Of course.
Pinover also posted a video on February 28th, the day that OPM sent out a second government-wide email asking federal employees to summarize their work. Administrations like Musk have described those emails as a broader effort to root out employees who are not using their time efficiently. Quote, pretending to work while taking money from taxpayers is no longer acceptable. Musk posted, and it was just like the irony of like,
I know,
bitch.
it's like, this is someone who is literally filming videos where she is pretending
to work. Yeah.
So crazy.
So the worst offense is that like the outfits go from fine to just trash. And you know already me, like I already am offended when skinny people can't dress, when skinny people with money can't dress. But so let's go look at one of the outfits.
And everyone online, if you go to the Go Touch Grass Instagram, I'm obviously going to post a bunch of these. Okay.
And this is the $475 skirt. So
it's like a purple peasant skirt. We've got a flowy ensemble. I mean, it's not a bad outfit to wear to work.
I think it's bad. Or to wear to work. What the fuck is this top?
She's going for flowy. It's
flowy and cropped. I hate it.
Yeah, probably it'll be a good judge if I'm like, yeah, it looks pretty good to me. Like, that's probably trash. Yeah.
I'm just like, it's not a fit, but it's not something like if I saw someone come to work like that, I would just be like, oh.
Yeah, okay. I'll say this. It's a fine outfit for a regular woman to wear to work. It is not an influencer.
Yeah,
outfit
exactly. Exactly.
For a woman who's firing thousands of people.
The context is crucial.
Yes, the context is crucial. And then I guess the next slide, we can't really see the outfit in this one, but it's just, again, it's a lot of long skirts. It's a lot of layers. It's very conservative outfits, but she's wearing, like, she's adorned. She's doing her makeup, all this stuff. And again, it's just giving normal woman. It's not giving.
Normal woman.
Exactly. It's not giving influencer, use my affiliate link page.
Right. It's like the one we're looking at right now is it looks like gray skirt, gray sweater, and then a little tied around like cream sweater. It's just, I mean, again, if I saw a woman at the office wearing these outfits, I wouldn't be like, her outfit looks bad. I would just be like, yep, lady at her desk.
But I wouldn't ask her what she's wearing either, which is the whole point. The whole point of being I guess what's offensive to me is that the whole point of being an influencer is that you're supposed to have a lifestyle and it's supposed to be aspirational, which means that people look at you and think, wow, I want to wear that. I want to look like that. And I'm just like, this is awful. Even for conservative, because everyone knows I'm a hoe. Like, I'm always showing skin. I'm always wearing whatever. So it's just not my style. But I'm like, there are Muslim girls. There are conservative women that have some kind of pizzazz and style. This bitch is not one of it. And she's firing everybody. Fuck her.
Yeah. No, I'll absolutely fuck her.
Yeah. So,
also, it's proving like there's no way you are better than all of the people that just got fired.
Exactly. To be sending out emails, it's like, you have to say 5 things you did today. And it's like, what's 5 things you did today? You're filming Get Ready With Me's in your office, and they're not even very good.
It's so aggressively mediocre.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is I feel like what you said is perfect. It's giving normal woman. Like, why are we doing this?
It's giving normal woman. You're not adding any pizzazz. You're not adding even a little bit of color or something.
Yeah.
Because that's interesting. How to dress interesting and work in... Shut up.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not even looking at like classic pieces where it's like, this is super well tailored. Like, this is a really nice whatever. It's just literally like a lady in a sweater.
No. Yeah. And we'll send the Diet Prada posted like multiple of her outfits. They're all little videos, which were hard to share. on here because I didn't want to watch her videos. And her Instagram is down. So yeah.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
So that's TikTok.
TikTok. Wow.
And finally, to keep it going on women who should delete their whole internet presence.
Well,
we have
the theme today really is we don't call women losers.
losers big enough. I mean, we don't. There's not a big enough. Or no, sorry. It's a big women aren't called. We don't call women losers enough moment. And that was hard to.
It's
that was
okay.
hard. It's like reading a lot of numbers. out
Yeah,
loud.
we talk often about how hard it is to read a long number.
Like
impossible.
350,622. Like
It's like I'm like,
Oh, on paper, yeah.
yeah,
it's on
no,
paper.
my
No, read it.
my eyes go cross-eyed.
So on our final segment of the pod, we have Grasshole of the Week,
Grasshole of the week.
which is where we nominate one person on the from the internet who needs to log off the most.
Yes.
Who needs to go touch grass.
Yeah, they need to interact with the real world around them.
Yes.
Very important. Post haste.
Post haste. And again, Miss McLaureen Pinover was a great candidate, but she logged off.
Yeah, that's the thing.
She logged off now.
Yeah, testament to her. Yeah.
The account's down.
Yeah.
So instead, we are going to be nominating our Grasshole of the Week this week. It is a woman named Natalie Barnett.
Okay.
And she is a UK-based fitness influencer who has 18,000 followers
I was about to be like,
on TikTok.
That's sort of a McLaureen Pinover sort of
Yeah,
situation.
yeah,
She is not a
Yeah.
McLaureen Pinover. She has 418,000 followers on Instagram, 1.9 million followers on TikTok, and 241,000 subscribers on YouTube. She's a
Alright.
big fitness influencer, and she's been updating her fans for years about her plan to open her own gym, her own fitness center in London. And the venue is called The Girl Spot, and it's catering only women, right? So 4 years ago in 2021, Barnett posted on Twitter, on X, to confirm that, trans women would be welcomed in her gym. She says, respectfully, if you have a problem with trans women attending my gym, then you can find another gym to train at. I have discussed this several times before. Trans women are women and also a minority that need to be protected. Please keep your transphobia away. So that was kind of the sentiment that she had in 2021. She did a GoFundMe for this gym and got 25,000 pounds, almost 25,000 pounds, which is
oh, right,
British
we're dealing
currency,
with British people.
which is confusing because this is gym, and I just want to let you know I figured it out, and I'm telling you that no, she's not living 21. She got 25,000 pounds, which is quite a lot.
Yeah.
And
I'd take it.
yeah.
I'd take 25,000 pounds.
And now that the gym is very close to being open, she has the place, she's showing us all this stuff. And now that the gym is about to be open, she's like, oh, by the way, the gym is only for biological women, not trans
Boo.
women. And, it's a major U-turn for what she said initially. And oh boy, is the internet going off on her. So I was trying to find a video that had her, because her original statement, she made like a couple minute long video about why she's deciding to do this and all this stuff, and she had to delete it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch an ITV kind of summary of all this stuff that happened.
This is a very British story.
Wow.
ITV presents.
Exactly.
What do you mean you're going to have the idea for a women's only gym base, but when it comes time to actually opening, you're going to backtrack and say it's for biologically born women only?
Not gonna lie, Natalie, I want my money back.
This is who those women are talking about. Fitness influencer commonly known as Natalie B. Fitness. She said this back in 2021.
Of course, trans women are welcome at my women's only gym. I don't see trans women as trans women. I see trans women as women. So 100,000% trans women are.
But fast forward to 2025, she released this statement.
Very important to make it clear how my women's only gym will be operating. and it will be operating as a single-sex space for biological women.
Quite the U-turn, right? And now people are saying
Use transphobia, and it's disgusting.
Natalie has over 1 million followers on TikTok. Back in 2021, she announced her new business venture, a women's only gym, a place where all women can feel safe. And she gave her followers the option to donate to her crowdfund page to help with her startup costs. And now some people are calling out the influencer because they feel like they've been lied to.
You say yes, there's a trans inclusive space. Then once you actually take the people them's money and open the business, you now tell them they can't enter.
And that first video wasn't the only time Natalie made it clear her gym would allow trans customers. She posted this a couple of years back.
So right now, in terms of my gym, obviously cis women are welcome and trans women are welcome.
And now she's backtracked on it. People are even claiming she could be breaking the law.
What I would like to know is, how is this going to work out for you legally?
And some are questioning how she plans to action this.
It doesn't make sense on so many fronts. By that logic, trans men can enter your gym.
This is Natalie's reasoning for her change of heart.
Inside, we are focusing on self-defense classes, Muay Thai, boxing classes, as well as workshops and activations around PCOS and training on your menstrual cycle, all of which occur to biological women. Majority of the women who are seeking my women's only gym, the Girl Spot, are coming here because they have faced some level of gym intimidation or sexual violence and assault that has been perpetrated by men. So as the owner of the gym, it is very important to make it clear how my women's only gym will be operating, and it will be operating as a single-sex space for biological women.
Natalie didn't respond to our request for comment, but she put this statement on Instagram in response to the backlash. In it, she said she sympathises with trans women and that the decision was not easy, and added she has spent time and money seeking legal advice.
Wow, so yeah.
I mean, just obviously you can't take people's money and then pull the rug out from under them on what the gym is.
Pretty cut and dry. It's
Yeah.
like, I am going to do one thing. I'm not doing that thing anymore.
Exactly. And like, I imagine if I was a trans woman who might go to this gym and I saw that, I'd be like, oh, it would be awesome to have a gym that was like an inclusive gym to go to. Like, she probably got money from trans women who wanted to see the like place funded because they wanted to use the gym.
I also just feel like women, for the most part, who are trying to work out in a safe environment, or like feel like so strongly as they want to work in this safe environment, are not going to be like scared of a trans. I just think like,
it's not trans women that are causing that
thing. It's just
feeling.
fucked up. So if we go, like, there's just some responses that people had on Twitter. You know, again, first person to apologize for her old tweets not being bigoted enough. You know, I thought that was really funny. Of like, actually, my tweets weren't fucked up, and now I want to make it fucked up retroactively. And then there's a bunch of other responses again, and people are like asking for refunds, which Barnett has announced that she is refunding people who no longer support the Girl Spot direction. And I guess she said you know, that she made a statement about like, I understand that trans women are hurt, but like, yeah, whatever, like all this bullshit. I mean, who cares?
Then I don't care because
But I changed my mind.
I decided to be worse.
I decided to be worse. I think we can like forward. Yeah. People are like, you need to be sued, blah, blah, blah. And then she started getting like, they made a whole thing about like her getting death threats, you know, which people are like, I don't know. I mean, I hope you just drop dead and eat shit, bitch. Which I'm like, like, I don't think it's cool that people are telling you to die, but also like, you had to know that this wasn't going to be popular.
I mean, it's not like, personally, I wouldn't say that online to anyone, but I do also think that's a little bit different than like a death threat.
Exactly. Because people are like, it's just so quick to be like, I'm getting death threats. And it's like, people on Twitter told you to die. I don't know. I guess that is a death threat. Like, I guess it's legally a death threat, but they're not like, I'm going to come stab you. It's like, go die, bitch. I guess it's whatever. But in response to this, our girly, perpetual Hall of Fame grasshole, woman who needs to log off,
I knew this was going to
Miss
happen.
J.K. Rowling popped in the chat and said, "Let us in your gym or we'll kill you. Say men who pose no risk to women whatsoever." And it's just like, I think
she said you could come.
Yeah.
She said that at the beginning.
She said that you could at the beginning. It's just also just so, it's just at this point, it's like the amount of women, she has this huge platform. I'm just trying to break down like how many people would actually in reality, like how many trans women in reality would this affect, like her saying no? It's just like being cruel to it just reminds me of the trans legislation where it's like Alabama made it illegal for trans kids to be in sports, and it's just like that might be 5 kids at most, like numbers wise. And
Yeah.
you're just doing it to be a fucking asshole, not because you know, like just
to truly a couple people. Not that it like even matters the numbers, but it is one of those things where it's like, number one, why did you go so whole hog saying like making it so specific that this was going to be an inclusive gym and then pull the rug out from under it and not think that there's going to be a bunch of people asking for their money back, potentially suing you? I mean, I guess she's talked to lawyers or whatever. It's just interesting to me to be like, I wonder why she would make this sudden calculation, and is it because everyone's getting more conservative?
Yeah, it's like the conservative backlash. Sorry.
No, yeah.
And like, I guess this is also like weird and problematic because, you know, there's the racial element where it's like a lot of the markers, if we want to go to the biological women thing, it gets very testy because a lot of the markers, which is like testosterone amounts and all that stuff, that differs from different races. And like, that was an issue in our most recent Olympics, is that somebody with a high testosterone count and, you know, is technically biologically a woman, but they just have higher because it's like they're basing the testosterone on like white women. And it's like, so it was also like another layer of, you know, difficulty and complication with that because Natalie B. Fitness is a Black woman. And I'm sure like her fans are finding like looking for inclusive, like whatever. So,
well, it is.
Kyle, what do you think about Kyle Gordon?
We brought you on here, yeah. Because this is not settled until Kyle weighs in.
Listen, white millennial man.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I do feel that like it's interesting to me that in her explanation for why she said she did this, she was like, we're doing self-defense classes. And I'm like, trans women could really use self-defense classes. Like, they get attacked a lot.
Yeah.
And okay, we're doing stuff around PCOS and menstruation. I'm like, I don't think any trans woman is going to be like, you can't I've never encountered a trans woman who would be like upset that a women's only space included some of those things. So like, what are you talking about? A trans woman would just not sign up for that. Or maybe she would because she wants to hear. I don't know. But it's not like because you're holding a menstruation workshop that a trans woman couldn't also be like lifting weights nearby. Like, I don't understand.
I don't know if you have anything.
No, so this just happened. Is there like a well, I guess the J.K. Rowling is doing the backlash to the backlash.
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Yeah.
This all happened within this past week, and she did like come out and say like this woman, but like I feel like her little, so this was the backlash, and then the backlash of the backlash is when she's like, no guys, like this was really hard for me. It's because I've been assaulted in a gym, and it's like, yeah, but like that still doesn't answer what the fuck is going on.
Also,
like,
a trans woman didn't do
yeah,
that
like
to
it's
you.
like if a trans woman did, I could kind of see your rationale. And again, it's not to say like that doesn't mean all whatever, but it's not even what happened. It's like you're doing this, and again, it is this thing of like culture has been lucrative for a conservative push for the past few years that maybe, especially in London, like I feel like in America, there's a lot of the anti-trans movement in America has been a lot of focused on like the kids, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But in London, it's all about like the turf shit is like
It's all about protecting women.
and women's spaces bullshit. So
I will say, as a reluctant scholar of J.K. Rowling's whole thing that she's doing now, like that is her party line, is that she's like, I just want to protect women. And it's honestly wild. Like last time I was home, my mom vaguely referenced the J.K. Rowling stuff. She was like, oh, because I used to be a big Harry Potter person. That's my millennial curse is that I was deep into the fandom. My mom's like, isn't J.K. Rowling crazy now or something? And I was like, Mom, it goes so far beyond what you could ever imagine. If you go to her Twitter, every tweet is about stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like this is it's not you'll maybe get one that's like, and by the way, Harry Potter show is coming, but 99.9% of it is just this stuff.
Does she even write anymore? This is all she does now?
I think this is actually all she does. She's released some weird books under her pen name Robert Galbraith because yes, she uses a male pen name, which is a whole other
which is a whole other complicated.
And then she writes kind of like she writes weird mysteries. I remember I bought one of them, which was like before she became
you bought it after.
Yeah, no, I bought it after. No, it was called The Casual Vacancy, and I remember it felt very like she was trying to say fuck and cunt so much to like get away from being Harry Potter that I was like, it was like too much.
Oh like when a Disney star does porn.
Yeah. It was honestly very Millennial burger restaurant where it's just like, these are fucking good burgers. I'm like, what is going on?
Or it's that
like,
one Mumford & Sons song where it's like, he says like fuck like one time, but he wants you to know he's saying fuck.
Yeah.
Well, we're not white men, so we don't know the Mumford &
Fair.
Sons.
No, yeah. Me neither. I hate, so weird. I don't know anything about him. Yeah. Actually, I think I made that up probably. Yeah.
You know that Mumford & Sons song.
Yeah. You know that. You don't know.
No, Kyle, we don't know the Mumford & Sons song.
Taylor Swift will do the same thing. Like she'll really wind up for a fuck. Like you can tell that
and
she's
I don't know that either.
Really
Olivia Rodrigo, I think, is the queen of like very strategically placed curse words. And I like Olivia Rodrigo, don't get me wrong, but like those curse words are like, they're like, here it comes. And now I just said it.
This is where you're going to say. I will say, I think the most expertly deployed fuck recently in pop is Sabrina Carpenter, Don't Embarrass Me, Motherfucker. When she goes deep on that.
Yeah, that's
motherfucker. I was like, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I didn't expect you to say it, and you did. You got me.
So to come full circle, do you feel like curse words are the truffle oil in millennial language?
Wow, yeah.
I honestly
I curse a lot.
Me too. I say, it's like a tick, like fucking this, fucking that,
Yeah, but it's also, I know I say like a lot because I edit this podcast and you know, whatever. And you know, it is like a pauser, but I also use curse words a lot. And I'm just like, is curse words the truffle oil where millennials have, you know, used it a lot in a way? I don't know, but there's some people who curse really good and some people who don't, and it's unforced or whatever, just like truffle oil dishes.
I think the forced curse word in like a professional setting, like from a brand, is a very millennial thing. Like a brand that swears, I think that's on us.
Yeah,
we
it's
did
like
that.
those this is also, I feel like, a super millennial thing of like this is another thing that definitely gets targeted at me. Yeah, this is a Mumford & Sons moment. Like the male edgy razor ad.
Yeah.
Like, you shave your fucking balls, dude. Like,
yes.
Yeah, I wonder that too. Like, it's interesting with like the women only gym, whatever. Even though these always have existed, I'm just like, there is this thing of like, as I feel like society, even though whatever conservative politics that are happening, as society, we are kind of moving towards a place where like gender is becoming less of a thing, or like, you know, people are dressing different, like whatever, and expressing themselves differently. But there is such a marketing push of like, wash your balls and like women only and fair. Like it's just like, oh, we're so like down the throats.
I feel like marketing and executives and like people who are in charge of businesses are often like 5 to 10 years culturally behind too. So it's like, this is the thing that I've been seeing is a lot of people are talking about the new Snow White with Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot that's like much maligned for all, there's so, I mean, put a pin in fucking that discourse, but there's, it was originally promoted as this like, she's not going to be saved by the prince, and people didn't like that. And one person that I was watching making videos about it was like, yeah, that's because Disney executives are still in the feminism of like 10 years ago, where it's just like where it's like, have you ever thought that maybe Belle actually had Stockholm syndrome? Have you ever thought that some of these fairy tales are like, there's problematic dynamics in these fairy tales from the 30s? It's very like, we've kind of moved beyond that conversation, but Disney's still having it. And then
every movie is like a cracked article from 2012.
Yes, exactly.
But I'm also
exactly.
like, I'm like, it's probably come back around because I would love to go to sleep and wake up and be like with the love of my life. Eat a poison apple and then wake up and this fine ass guy like sign me up. I gotta go on a fucking I gotta fucking get a beer with this guy who's not even gonna pay for that's
the thing is that people now are like, actually it's nice to be saved by the prince sometimes.
I'm like, I would love a guy who did a chore.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, you wake up and he's like,
Chad White, god damn it.
Yeah.
You wake up to a guy who's like, hey babe, all that stuff you were worried about, I took care of it.
Oh my god. Instant orgasm.
And you're just like, oh, okay.
Oh, I want every single person in my life, both my partner, everyone I meet, I want them to treat me that way.
Yeah. Hey, sweetheart.
Just deal with all my bullshit.
Yeah, 7 male roommates that clean
Yeah.
and have jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, there
Sign
we
me
go.
up.
Sign me up. I'm always like at the first beginning of like a cult documentary, I'm like, this sounds awesome. And then they all start killing each other. And even the orgy part, I'm like, all right. I mean, we'll figure it out. Let's go.
Yeah. The thing that I know will always keep me from joining a true cult is that I need my own bedroom. I can't be sleeping in these bunk beds in a big pile with the guy in the middle. I'm like, I need my own room.
Yeah.
And eventually, the far enough you get into a cult, I've seen in these documentaries, eventually I'm gonna have to move into a crazy house, and I can't be doing that.
True.
I can't
I wonder
be doing
how,
that.
Yeah. Can it be comfortable? Like you get
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is our grass hole. For the crime of saying something's gonna be trans inclusive, then purposefully making it trans exclusive, and being a fucking loser, we're gonna say, Natalie Barnett, go touch grass.
And that's the end of our episode.
That's our episode.
Kyle, tell us where everyone can find you, follow you, find your music, find you on tour, all the good stuff. Tell him now.
Thank you. Yeah, Kyle Gordon is great on everything. And yeah, album comes out April 4th. Tour starts end of this month, March 27th. So I'll be going everywhere and Canada.
And Canada, the 51st state. Just kidding.
Well,
Just
I'm
kidding.
the front line of the invasion. So
Yeah. Kyle is coming and he is armed.
Yeah. Armed and demented.
Yeah. With music.
Yeah.
With the power of song.
Yes.
He'll heal the relationship with the power of song.
Yes, and you can fuel our relationship, our parasocial relationship with you by following at Go Touch Grass Pod on all platforms. You can follow me at Millie_Tamaris on Instagram and on TikTok, and at Millie Tamaris on Twitter, and fucking Lemonade, Blue Sky, all this shit, whatever. I'm on there.
All of them. You can find me at Pandalise on Instagram, at Elise Navidad on TikTok, and until next time, go touch grass! Woo! That was so great.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Yay. Okay. Perfect episode.
That was a HeadGum podcast.